right? So what I was saying is that the different plans, they have their benefits, right? So if you want to have up to 10 indicators on your chart, you can choose the Pro Plus, right? If you want to have up to 25 indicators on your chart, right, you can use Premium. But why should you be having up to 25 indicators on your chart, right? What's the need of that? So what I did was I went for the Pro, right? I went for the Pro. So that's basically it. So let's go back to the charts there. We'll just talk about the main stuff we're here to do. So I've actually been testing this and it's been giving me this very, very high win rate, right? I think I took a couple of trades yesterday. I took about 28 trades, and I think I won about 24 and lost just 4. Maybe the four out of the 4 trades I lost was probably I was too impatient because I was just like, oh, this thing is going to sell. And I entered at the wrong time. I didn't actually wait for it to set up. So I'm actually going to be teaching us how to set it up, right? So for us to use this, we are going to use the 5 minutes time frame, right? So on any currency pair at all, right? On any currency pair at all, it works on the 5 minutes time frame, just like the hourglass strategy, right? The same way we have hourglass that works on 5 minutes time frame, this actually works on 5 minutes time frame. And this is a very, very popular strategy that I think everybody knows, right? Everybody has been hearing about Ivan Cabral's strategy. Ivan Cabral's strategy is the same thing I want to teach you guys, but what I want to teach you guys is quite different because we're actually going to be using it in a different way. It's the same procedure. It's the same steps for cash trap. Now, I don't think I should be going back to the basics of cash trap because we already have a video teaching that, right? So I don't need to start teaching cash trap again. So if you understand the basic cash trap point system, can you just like drop a yes in the chat? If you understand how to use cash trap, the normal cash trap, if you know how to use it, right? You know how to check the currency spread meter. You know how to check for your support and resistance. You know what else? Your stochastic, your RSI, all those things, right? DMI stochastic, right? So everything on market trap or cash trap, as they call it, right? It's the same thing we're going to be applying here. Or shall I say it's the same thing as the double blessing strategy. But okay, I'll show you guys what we are supposed to do. So if you are new on TradingView, right? The indicator you should be adding up. The indicator you should be adding up is the Ivan Cabral strategy, right? Ivan Cabral strategy. So once you just type in Ivan, right? Ivan Cabral binary strategy 2, right? So this one right here, Ivan Cabral binary strategy 2. So that's what we're going to be clicking on, right? So take note of the indicators we're using, right? Take note of the indicators we're using. So I'm going to be writing it out here, right? So I'm going to write it out here, everything we're going to be needing. So list of indicators, right? Ivan Cabral binary strategy 2. Then we also need an indicator called DMI stochastic extreme. Right, so we also need an indicator called that. So if you have your laptop and you're plugged in with your phone, you should be doing this as well, right? You should actually be doing this as well. So the next one we are going to look for is DMI stochastic extreme. So that's what I want to add up now. So DMI stochastic extreme. So once you type that, you're going to see different, sorry, let me just accept this other two people here. So you're going to see different DMI stochastic, right? You're going to see different ones. You're going to see DMI stochastic extreme. You see the one that says version 2. You see this one, so many ones, right? But one thing I need you guys to always understand is that the most used indicator most times, right? That's the one people actually go for. So me, I just look at this. I just tell myself, okay, this has about 2,672 likes. So this is the one I want to go for, right? So DMI stochastic extreme, that's what I'm adding, right? So I just added this right here. All right, so I just added it. This is it right here, right? So the next indicator I'm going to be using is what? Is our regular stochastic, right? So number 3 is stochastic oscillator, the normal one, stochastic oscillator. Now I'm going to be teaching you guys how to set everything up, right? Because I believe for you to actually be profitable while trading, you should have your own strategy, right? You should have what works for you, right? Most times, hourglass or market trap is not enough. That's the honest truth. That's something you guys need to know. Most times, hourglass is not enough, and you need to have something else, right? You know that while we're trading, hourglass works based on confirmations. You confirm currency strength meter, you get a confirmation. You check the strength, the support and resistance. You get another what do you call it? You get another confirmation, right? So this is another way of just adding extra confirmations, right? And once I tried it out on Thursday, I tried it out on Friday, and trust me, like the win rate is crazy. So that's why I'm just here. I'm just trying to show you guys exactly what I was doing. So we are going to click on stochastic, and the last indicator we'll be needing is the RSI, right? So RSI, relative strength index, that's what we're clicking on, right? So basically, these are all the indicators you need, right? But if you're actually on the free version of TradingView, I think it's just going to permit you to add about 3. Maybe you'll be able to add the Vancouver strategy, you'll be able to add DMI stochastic and the stochastic, but you'll be able to have RSI. So it's important that you have the upgraded version of TradingView, right? Even if you can just pay for the upgrade, have this strategy saved, right? Just have this layout saved. If you can pay for the upgrade now, then have the layout saved. It's actually going to save you a lot of money, right? Thinking about how to pay for it again and all that, right? The main idea of you upgrading is just so you have access to the layout. So the last one is the RSI, right? So this is it right here, right? So when it comes to the setting, right? When it comes to the setting, for me, the DMI stochastic is already set, right? DMI stochastic is already set. So guys, see, if you actually have a question, you can just ask in the chat box, right? The DMI stochastic is already set, but what I want to do is I need to see the lines, right? I just don't want to see the B's and the S, right? You know, when we have the DMI stochastic on cash trap, what we're doing is whenever we see the B, we are actually buying. Whenever we see the S, it means what? It's a sell signal, strong sell signal. So what I want to do is I want to make the stochastic line black, right? Because I need to see it. I need to see the cross down. I need to see everything happening, right, in the market. So overbought, right? The overbought zone, I need to make it okay, oversold. Let me look at this. Let me see which is for which. Okay. So you can just interchange the colors. So where you have the overbought, right, keep it as the green, right? These colors should tally. Where you have your B as green, the overbought area should be green as well, right? So where you have the S as red, you should have what? Oversold set as what? As red as well. So after that, you should be having it look like this, something like this, right? Something like this. This is what it's going to be looking like. So after setting this, then you come to your stochastic, right? Pay close attention. Pay close attention because this is where you need to really listen. So remember to take down notes, please. So stochastic here for your input, right? For where it says input, your K length is actually going to be 5, right? You're setting your K length to so ID, where did you stop? Can you set it again, please? I missed a step. Where did you miss out on? Where did you miss out on? Just DMI. Okay, DMI, we didn't really do much. Right, we didn't really do much. The inputs, the number is always 10 and 3. So what I did was I changed the stochastic to black. The overbought, I made it green. I made the oversold what red. I just changed stochastic to black, overbought as green, oversold as red. That's everything I did, right? I didn't touch any other thing. So this is what it's supposed to look like. So this is what it's supposed to look like. So for the stochastic, right? So stochastic, like I said, for your input, the K length is supposed to be 5, right? K length is 5. Your K smoothing is 3, right? D smoothing, leave it at 3 as well, right? Leave it at 3 as well. K length is 5, K smoothing is 3, D smoothing is 3. So when it comes to the style, we want to actually make the lines, right? It depends on what you want to do, right? So we can leave it as blue and what? We can make the D red, right? I'm going to show you guys why I prefer to do this, right? I'll show you guys why I prefer to do this. So if you want to make it thick, you can make it thick. But if you want to leave it like this, you can leave it like this. So the K is blue, the D is what? Is red. I'm going to show you why we're doing that. So your overbought area, right? I want to make it red, right? I want to make that area red. Then I want to make it thick, right? I'm making it red. Then I want to make it thick, right? So here, where it has these lines, I can choose what lines. If I don't want to have it as a broken line, I'm just going to select line, right? Then I'm changing the color to green as well. You can use any color of green for the lower band. Then make it thick, the second one, right? So your background, if you want to use a background, you can have it on, but you can keep it as white to match what we have already. So that's everything for the stochastic. So input 533, then style, blue, red. K is the blue, D is what? Is the red. Upper bands, red, lower bands, green, right? So you're having it like this. So you know how stochastic works. Whenever it's going to the upside, right, it's overbought. So once it's around the red zone, guess what? You should be expecting a sell, right? So if it sells all the way to this green area, what do we consider the market to be doing, right? It's actually oversold, and we should be expecting the market to start coming up again. So that's it for the DMI stochastic and the stochastic. So for the RSI, what we are going to be setting is input, right? Once you come to input, RSI length, you're just going to change it to 4, right? You're just going to change RSI length to 4. RSI length as 4. That's the only thing you're changing. So when it comes to style, where it says RSI, I want to actually make it what? Black. I don't know, people keep leaving the call and coming back. Right, so RSI, I'm setting that as black, right? I'm setting that as black. Then every other thing, RSI based MA, I'm going to untick that. Upper Bollinger Band, I'm going to untick that. Lower Bollinger Band, I am unticking it as well, right? So where it says upper RSI upper band, I want to make that red, right? I want to make it red, and I want to also make this a line, not a dashed line. So this is what I'm doing, right? So where it says lower band, I'm making it what? I'm making it green. Then I also want to make it thick, something like this, right? Something like this. So once I'm done having all these things, I'm just going to click on OK, right? So this is going to be our setup, right? Our layout. This is what we need to actually trade this thing, right? This is what we need to trade this strategy. This is everything we need to trade this strategy. So now the trick is, if you notice, this is the normal Princess. How do you save the indicators? All right, I'm coming. I'm actually going to show us that. Okay, Vivian, I should do the RSI again. Okay, so input. Right, so input RSI length is 4. Make it 4, right? So that's the only thing you're changing here. The style RSI is what? Make it a black. Untick RSI based MA, upper Bollinger Band, lower Bollinger Band. RSI upper band is going to be red. You can leave the middle one. It doesn't really matter. You don't really need it here, right? So the lower band is green. Abigail, if you feel comfortable using a dotted line, right, you can use that, but I don't really like it. I just love to have everything clean on my chart. I don't really like, I don't know, maybe it's because I like to arrange things in order. So I don't like having dotted lines on when I'm having my chart or something. So it depends. If you want to use that, you can use that. So your RSI background, if you want to make it white as well, you can actually make it white. So that's basically everything you're doing, right? So you should have your setup looking like this. You should have your setup looking like this. You should have your setup looking like this. So it's not yet time to save, right? So the person I was asking, how can we save this layout, or how can we save this indicator? It's not yet time to save. I'm actually going to be showing you why I need you guys to upgrade your trading view, right? I need you guys to upgrade your trading view, but still it can work this way, right? Okay, I'm going to show you guys something. Let me actually show you guys this way instead, but I'll still show you guys how I'm able to use mine. So if you're done with this whole setup, what you can do is come to the top over here, right? Once you come to the top, you're going to see this cloud looking symbol here. Just here, just click on it. You can just click on it, and once it ticks here, it means your layout has been saved, right? Once it ticks there, it means your layout has been saved. So we are good to go. This is everything we need to actually take trades, right? So like I said, the normal way we take trades, if we were to follow the double blessing strategy, right? The normal way to take trades, if we were to follow the double blessing strategy, we know the simple steps, right? Let me just put that DBS. So the first thing we're checking is the currency strength meter, right? That's what we want to check normally, right? Currency strength meter. What else are we checking? Who can help me out? What else are we checking? What else are we checking? No, I know we're supposed to check the news normally. Yeah, we're supposed to check the news on a normal as a trader. Yes, you're supposed to check news, but I'm talking about what we're looking for right here on the chart, right? Okay, let me just do this, right? So most important, let me just put it as most important, right? Let me say it as most important. Most important, check news. So most important, check news before trading. All right, so let me do this. So we are going to consider this as check. All right, so with your double blessing strategy, you're looking for a currency strength meter first, right? That's the first thing. Are we buying or selling? How many of you don't know how to use the currency strength meter? So that I can explain it real quick. If you don't understand how to use the currency strength meter, drop the 1 in the chat. If you don't understand how to use the currency strength meter, drop a 1 in the chat. Real quick, like fast, be fast about it. There's no time to be shy, right? So, okay, so we don't know how to use the currency strength meter. So for currency strength meter, right, when you want to check the currency strength meter, visit livecharts.co.uk, right? If you want to check currency strength meter, let me do this for currency strength meter. Let me just put CSN, visit livecharts.uk. So before we proceed, let me actually all right, so before we proceed, let me just go to live chats like ASAP. Let me just show the people that don't know how to use it. All right, let me try and explain this like real quick. All right, so this is it. So when trading Forex or when trading HFX, we have what we call currency pairs, right? All these things over here are called currency pairs, right? So AUD is a currency, CHF is a currency. So when they are brought together, we call them what? A pair, a currency pair. So we have different currency pairs. So now one thing I need you guys to also do is write it down, right? Differentiating between the major Forex pairs and minor Forex pairs, because it's really going to help you out. Because one thing I've been able to notice is people don't know how to differentiate them, right? Some people still struggle between is AUD supposed to be in front or is USD supposed to be in front, right? Some people are like, oh, I can't find USD AUD, right? When you're supposed to be looking for AUD USD. Or some people are saying, I can't find JPY Euro when it's supposed to be Euro USD. So you need to know how these pairs are arranged. So it's important that take your time, right? Use this weekend to read about your major Forex pairs and your minor. You can check out for exotics as well. So this is how we use it, right? So the currency strength meter basically shows the strength of each individual currency. Okay, Chisholm, thanks so much. Drop it, please. So it shows the strength of each individual currency. So if it's Euro, if it's GBP, if it's USD, right? This live charts.uk is just basically going to show us that it's obvious, right? CHF has how many bars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's obvious that CHF is stronger than what? Than Euro. CHF is the strongest currency on this chart, right? On this page we're looking at, on this currency strength meter page, right? CHF is the strongest. So now, how you're being able to trade these currencies is determined by how the currencies are arranged. So if I wanted to look for a currency that has CHF, let's go back to our trading view. Look at, we have a currency like what? CAD CHF, CAD CHF. So you can see that CAD is in front, CHF is behind, right? So if we come back to the currency strength meter, you're seeing that CAD that is in front has 2 bars, right? CAD has 2 bars and CHF has what? 6 bars. So if the second currency is stronger than the first currency, we are actually supposed to be doing what? We are supposed to be selling in the market. Now, let me actually show you guys this. Let me just do this, right? So this is CAD, right? This is CAD. This is CAD. This is CHF, right? Permit my handwriting and be sketch. So this is CHF. So this is CHF, right? Now, how this works is that if the first currency, right? If this first currency, which is CAD, is stronger than what? Than this second currency, we are going to be buying in the market. Why? Because we actually see it as the first currency is going to be what? Pushing the market upwards, right? But if it's the second currency that is stronger, it's going to be doing the opposite direction, right? It's going to be pulling the market backwards. So that's how we just use the currency stream meter. So CAD CHF, since what? Since CHF is the strongest currency pair, right? CHF is the strongest currency in that pair. We are actually supposed to be doing what? We are supposed to be selling CAD CHF, right? We're actually supposed to be selling CAD CHF. So in a case where we have to combine CAD with Euro, right? Euro CHF, what are we supposed to do? Since Euro is the first currency, right? Euro is the first currency, CHF is the second one. We are still doing the same thing, right? CHF is still stronger than what? Euro, the first one. So that means we are supposed to be selling, right? We are supposed to be selling. So now I need you guys to tell me, what do you think we'll be doing on, what do you think we'll be doing on Euro USD? On a currency pair like Euro USD, what do you think we're supposed to be doing? Looking at the currency stream meter, like looking at this page, are we supposed to be buying or are we supposed to be selling? What are we supposed to do? Right? We all agree that we are supposed to be selling, right? So that's basically the first step, right? When you're actually using your currency stream meter, that's step one. So now the second step, right? The second step is you want the market to be around, a resistance, right? Since we are selling, you want the market to be around a resistance. Excuse me, let me just take all these things out. So guys, hope you understand that when we are selling from resistance, right? Do we all agree? Do we all agree? If we are selling from resistance. And when we are buying from support. Hope we all agree. Is there anybody that okay, somebody does not understand. I don't understand that. All right, I'll break it down. Right, I'll take my time to break it down. So this, let's look at this. Let's do this. So let's assume we have let's assume we have this. Pay attention, please. Right, I just want to explain this real quick so that we can just proceed. So who said she doesn't understand? Just listen to this, right? So let's assume that we have a ceiling and a floor, right? We have a ceiling and a floor. Right, we have a ceiling and a floor. So let me make it red. Let me make this line red as well, right? Because that's exactly what we are going to be doing while we are trading, right? So we have a ceiling and a floor, especially if you're living on, like, in a story building, right? Or you've been to a story building before, so in fact, you should know what I'm talking about. Okay. So we have a ceiling and a floor. So what do you think would happen if I was to throw a ball from the floor where we're standing? If I throw a ball up to the ceiling, what do you think will happen? My madam that doesn't understand, that question is for you. If I throw a ball to the ceiling, what's going to happen to that ball? What do you think will happen to the ball? The ball would fall back, right? It's going to fall back. So look at it, right? I'm throwing a ball up to the ceiling. It hits the ceiling and what? It falls back down, right? This place that the ball hit and came back down is called what? It's called resistance, right? This place the ball hit and came back down is called resistance. It's called our resistance. Now, the same thing is going to happen, right? So now let's look at it the other way. What do you think is going to happen if I threw the ball, right, from, let's say I was at the balcony on the second floor and I threw the ball downstairs, right, to the floor? What's going to happen? Right, what do you think will happen if I threw the ball this time around to the floor? What do you think will happen if it hits the floor? What do you think will happen if it hits the floor? It will bounce back from the floor, exactly, right? So if I threw the ball from the ceiling, it's going to hit the floor, come back up, do what? Hit the floor. Like it just keeps bouncing like that, right? So now the same thing is these areas where this ball has been bouncing, right? We call it what? Our support. We call it our support. Right, so you actually see that this is just, you can just say floor and ceiling, or guess what? You can just call it, let me see, make sure others sent it back, right? You can just call it what? Support and resistance. Resistance, ceiling, support, what? Floor. Resistance for ceiling, support for what? Floor. Right? So that's why I've actually been able to use what? Red and blue, because what? If you opportunity to open your cash trap, right? You'll be able to see that cash trap has already been able to give us what? It's been able to give us our support, it's been able to give us our resistance, right? So now guess what? Do you notice something similar with this Evan Cabral strategy? What can you notice here? Right? From the support and resistance, or the ceiling and floor we just talked about. Who can notice something? Right? Is there something similar about this? Is there something similar about what we have right here on the screen? Right? Is there something similar about what we have here on the screen? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody point it out? Can anyone point it out? Is there anyone that can point it out? If you know the similarity, right? The red and blue pivots as support and resistance. That's correct. So talking about ceiling, talking about floor, guess what? This also gives us what? Those areas, right? So if you're new to trading and you don't know how to identify, you don't know how to identify your support and resistance, you don't know how to identify your floor and ceiling, guess what? This has already done what? Identified it for you, right? This has been able to identify it for you. So you have ceiling, you have floor, you have ceiling, 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 ceiling. All the reds, resistance areas. All the blues, what? Support areas. Somebody keeps leaving and joining again. All right, so resistance areas, support areas. So when we are actually selling, right? So the second thing we are considering when we are looking at the double blessing strategy normally, right? You're selling, if you're looking for a sell, you're selling at resistance. resistance, or I'll just say red line, right? Resistance or red line. Now in bracket, I'm going to put something. Price must be at a red line for the sake of our newbies, right? So price must be at a red line. So when you're buying, right? When you're buying, guess what? We want what? We want to actually see that we're buying at what? At support. Buying at support. So guys, be taking down these things. You need to be taking down notes so that you don't forget about it much later. Buying at support or blue line. Buying at support or blue line. Right. So the same thing is here. Like I'm going to put the same thing here. So price must be at a blue line before you buy. Right? This other one, price must be at a red line before you sell. So I'm just trying to make this so simple. So I'll actually get to what we are supposed to be doing, the main stuff, right? That's going to help you guys. But we can't actually rush into that without talking about the basics, right? We can't actually rush into that without talking about the basics. So this is it. So the third thing we are doing, right? The third thing you want to consider is, do we actually have, for the DMI, right? The third thing we are looking at is the DMI, right? Or I should do this instead, right? This is what I want to do. Your stochastic, right? So third thing, stochastic at red for sell, right? For sell, then stochastic at blue for buy. I'm going to change all this, right? So this is it. So look at this. Let me try and make it a bit smaller, right? Let me try and make it a bit smaller. Okay, so this is it right here. I can easily change this to blues depending on what color I want to indicate it as. If I just want to make it more understandable, right? I'm going to change the lower bands to blue. Since we are working with what? Red and blue. Let me make this more easier for everybody to understand, right? So all your lower bands, I want you guys to change it to blue so that we'll be working with just two colors, right? Working with just two colors. So what I did is what? We are considering what? Red for sell, blue for buy. On the DMI stochastic, we want to see this black line at red, right? Once we see it as a red and it's crossing down, we have an S. That's what? For a sell signal, right? For a buy, you want to see the black line crossing up the blue line, and you want to have what? A blue B for what? For a buy signal. Let me try and make it big. This is it. Let me just make it big. So guys, are you following? Do you actually understand what I'm saying? Do you actually understand what I'm saying? Right? If you understand, if you're following, just drop a yes in the chat. If you understand everything I'm saying, just drop a yes in the chat. Right? So we are working with two colors. So just know that the blues, once we have blue, guess what? We should be buying, right? Now, once we have red, we should be doing what? We are looking for sales, right? We're looking for sales. So this is it. So this is what we're doing, right? This is what we're doing. So the first thing we looked at was what? We looked at the currency strength meter. So we agreed that if the second currency is stronger than the first currency, what are we doing? Second currency stronger than what? First currency. What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to buy or sell? We are supposed to sell, right? So once you are supposed to sell, what color is that? How many reds have we gotten, right? We've gotten one red, right? What color is that? Currency strength meter says we should sell. That's how many reds? One red. That's one red. Now, the next point, we're selling at what? A resistance. If currency strength meter says we should sell, we should be doing what? We should be selling at a resistance. You want to see the market somewhere around here, a resistance, right? You want to see the market buy up to a resistance, a red line. Once you see the market coming to a red line, that is what? Number 2. That's your second red signal, right? That's your second red signal. Let me actually do this. Let me take the market back here, right? Let me take the market back here, right? Let me just replay what happened in the market, right? So this is what the market looked like before it closed, right? This is what the market looked like. So this is it. The market is at a support. This is the market area, right? This candle was selling. So now, in order for us to sell, we want to see the market move up to what? To a red area, a resistance. So watch what happens. Look at the market started buying, right? It got to a resistance. Let me actually pause this. Right? It got to a resistance, right? Look at this. The market got to a resistance, quite all right. But remember that for us to be confidently selling that, we need to have more than what? We need to have more than 4 confirmations, right? The strength meter and resistance is not enough. If you look at the DMI, guess what? It's not yet at what? It's not yet at the red, right? So I can't actually sell this. Even if, yes, it's going to sell, I'm not going to sell it on my broker, right? I want to actually see this black line do something like this. If we're looking at the past, look at these areas. See these areas where the line actually came up here, right? Look at these areas, right? It came up to this red area and it started crossing down. Look at this other area here. It's doing the same thing, right? I want you to do something like this. I want you to always do something like this. This is what I always want to find, or this is what I'm trying to spot out for the DMI. If I'm selling, I want to see it come up to where? This red area, right? I want to always get it at this red areas. So currently the market is here. It's at this red area, but has this line gotten to the red zone? It hasn't gotten there. Do you get? So I have to wait for the market to buy, or I have to wait for the market to keep playing out, right? I want to see this DMI stochastic at the red. So I'm going to play this now, and I'm going to tell you when it's ready, right? Boom, right? Can we actually see? Can you actually see what happened? Can you guys see what happened? Right? It came up here, right? The market actually came up here to this red line, this red area. I'm going to take it back again and I'll replay it, right? Remember I told you guys we're going to be doing a lot of back testing to show you that this thing is working, right? I'm going to show you that this thing works. If you're patient enough to wait for everything to play out for you, trust me, you'll be clearing, like, you're going to be getting win rates, like very, very high win rates. So see, I'm patiently waiting for this black line to get to the red since we are selling. So this is the market buying, right? Just take a look at this, right? Boom, right? So the moment I saw this black line pass through this red, it got to this red area. That is exactly what I'm looking for, right? To count this as what? A third confirmation, right? This is what I'm looking for, to count it as a third confirmation. Guys, please pay attention. I hope you guys are following. Are we on track? Are we following? Is everybody understanding? Is everybody understanding? Right? We all understand it, I guess. Right? So immediately I see this come up to what? The red. That is what? My third confirmation. Right? That's my third confirmation. So guess what? I'm going to play this and let's see how this market reacts. Right? It's currently at a resistance. So assuming I wanted to take this for a sell, what is this market going to do? Let's look at this. Boom. Look at. Would you have cleared this trade or not? Would you have cleared this trade or not? If you took the sell from the resistance, would you have cleared the trade or not? If you would have cleared it, drop a 1. If you would have lost the trade, drop a 2. You'd have cleared it, right? Just by being what? Just by being patient. You're not rushing. You're not rushing trades. You're waiting for the trades to come to you, and you're not actually what? You're not actually rushing trades. That's one thing you need to understand, is that you don't need to rush into trades. You need to allow trades to come to you instead. If you don't see your setup, you're not taking any trade. Do you get? If you don't actually see your setup, you're not taking any trade at all. So if I don't see my setup, guess what? I'll wait, or I'll go and look for something else that is setting up for me, right? So now we have what? We have our third confirmation, right? We have our third confirmation. So we can actually see that number 3 is what? DMI stochastic, right? DMI stochastic should be at red for sell, right? DMI stochastic should be at what? Blue for buy. So that's our third confirmation. Third confirmation. So now this is it, right? Once we're done with the DMI stochastic, let me still play this market and see what really went down, what really happened. Let's see what really happened in the market. Boom. Guys, look at this. Do you see this massive red candle? Right? Do you see this massive red candle? I see how this market sold. You'd have surely cleared this trade, right? You'd have cleared this trade. If you're the type of people that are so good at marking up, you'd have known that, oh, there's a resistance here, there's a support here. Okay, this should be a zone for me, right? When the market pulls back to this area, right, I take it for another sell, and this is it. You're still in a sell, dropping down. So that's basically your third confirmation. So we are doing the same thing. Everything we are doing is what? Is based on colors. So if I wanted to sell this again, once I go down to the stochastic, guess what I'm looking for? I'm looking for the stochastic, right? These two lines are what? Are stochastics, right? So I'm waiting for the stochastic to be at what? The same thing. I'm looking for this. I'm waiting for it to come to this red area. Exactly the same thing I'm looking out for, right? Exactly the same thing I'm looking out for. I'm waiting for it to come to this red area, right? I'm waiting for it to come to this red area, right? So once it comes to this red area, and what happens? Guess what? Look at. Once the blue line is on top, guess what happens? The market is buying, right? Once the blue line is on top of the red one, the market is buying. But for a sell, what happens? The red one comes on top of what? It comes on top of the blue one. So normally, where you'll be taking as your entry is at the cross, right? At the crossing. Let me point out what I'm talking about. It's at this crossing. If you look where, you're going to see that we had the red line cross the blue line somewhere here, right? This area, right? Once this red line crosses this blue line and it's in this zone, right? I consider that a sell entry, right? That is when your sell is ready to drop. That is when your sell is ready to drop, right? Same thing with the buy. If you were supposed to buy, look at where it crossed. Look at where it crossed, right? It crossed there. The blue crossed up the red, and it was where? It was in this oversold zone. It was below this line. It was in this oversold zone. So for the buy area, I'm going to make it green, right? Well, let's say I'm going to make it blue. Since we're actually considering, we're just considering blues and reds. So I'm going to make it blue, right? So this is, stochastic setting is 533. I said it before, Phillips, 533. So this is exactly what I'm looking out for, right? I'm not concerned if the market is here. I'm not concerned if the market is around here, right? The only places I'm interested in the market is where? At overbought and oversold zones, right here. When it's below this line, that is when I'm looking for a trade opportunity. If I don't see it there, guess what? I'm going to leave that trade alone, right? If I don't see it there, I'm leaving the trade alone. Look at exactly what I'm doing, right? So these areas are areas that have my interest. This is what I'm looking for trade opportunities. That's what I'm looking for, trade opportunities, right? So hope we are following. Do we all understand? Do we all understand? Are we all following? Right? We've not even gotten to the main source because this is just the basics, right? I just want every new person trading HFX to be able to understand this, right? The main thing I just want to show you guys is not even hard, right? It's very, very simple. It's very, very easy, right? So this is basically it. So for buys, you want to see it at this blue line, while for sells, you want to see it at this red area. So what gives you a confirmation or an entry, right, is when you see the blue line crossing above the red. It tells you that, okay, it's a buy signal. It's ready to start buying, right? And when it's ready to start selling, once it's in the overbought area, right, or in the sell zone, you must be able to see what the red crossing down the blue. That gives you an indication for an entry for a sell, right? So that's basically what we'll be looking at. And let me look for something else, right? So stochastic, that's basically what we're looking for once we're considering the stochastic. All right, so let me just make this a bit wide. All right, so we know what we're doing. Okay. All right, so just hold on. So for number 4, step 4, which is stochastic, right? We're just following the colors, like I said. So stochastic has to be at red for sell. Then what? Stochastic has to be at blue. Has to be at blue for buy. So that's basically what we're looking for. Right? Stochastic has to be at the red area. Ibrahim. Immediately after the call, end of the call. All right, yeah. All right, so so it has to be at what? It has to be at the red area for sell. It has to be at the blue area for sell. So now let me add this. Let me add this point, right? So for sell, I'm gonna add it in the brackets. For sell, wait for red stochastic. to cross down the blue, right? For sell, wait for the red stochastic to cross down the blue. Then for buys, wait for the blue stochastic to cross up the red, right? So I hope this is understandable. I hope this is understandable, right? So that's what we're doing. Let me do something. Hope you guys are taking notes. All right, hope you guys are taking notes, but no problem if you're not taking notes. Make sure you watch the recording again. So the last thing we are going to be considering is what? Last thing we're going to be considering is the RSI, right? So RSI, we are doing the same thing, right? We are looking for what? If it's a sell, we are waiting for the RSI to come to what? To a red, right? We're waiting for RSI to also come to where we have what? Red. We're waiting for a red area on the RSI, right? We're waiting for a red area on the RSI, right? If it's for a buy, we're waiting for what? We're actually waiting for the RSI to get to what? To the blue area, right? So that's basically all the steps we need, right? Abigail, so all these settings comes with the upgrade, right? No, the upgrade just allows you to have more indicators on your trading view, right? Without the upgrade, I don't think you'll be able to have more than 3 indicators at a time. So the first indicator was the Van Cabral. We have what? DMI stochastic. Number 2, we have stochastic. Number 3, then we have what? We have the RSI as number 4, right? We have RSI as number 4. So guys, this is everything you need to understand, right? This is everything you need to understand. So the RSI, same thing. So for your 5th confirmation, RSI has to be at red for sell. And for a buy, RSI has to be at blue, right? So guys, please, we are actually 46 on this call, so try as much as possible to stay till the end of the training because we need to talk briefly, right? We need to talk briefly before we all go to bed. So RSI has to be at the red for a sell, and for a buy, RSI has to be where? Has to be at the blue area. So these are the basic things we are going to be considering, right? These are the basic things we are going to be considering once we are looking for trade ideas, right? So these are the basic things we are looking for, right? Shoma, which is the best trade indicators that can possibly serve for those without the upgrade? Shoma, I'm going to advise you to go for the upgrade. $14 is how much? How much is that in Naira, right? That's about 7K. Why not save yourself the stress and get the upgrade and don't worry about it again? Or you just want to be managing, and when something doesn't go right, you start complaining again, oh, it's not working. Just have the upgrade. That's what I'm just going to tell you, right? Have the upgrade, and it actually makes everything simple and straightforward for you, right? I actually showed us how to upgrade, right? Well, I think what you need to do is you watch this recording. Seems you actually joined in late and you missed that part, right? So I've needed to watch the recording again. So hope we, to upgrade, do you add credit card number? Your normal debit card, your ATM card, as far as it's a MasterCard, right? you can actually add your card right there. So one thing you guys can do is, once you add your card, right? Once you actually add your card, normally this is like a monthly payment, but once you have this thing set up, what you should do is you should cancel the monthly payment, right? So that it's just a one-time thing. So that by the time you have it, right, you have a 30 days free trial. You can choose to cancel before 30 days. But guess what? After the free trial, guess what? One indicator might not be working again. So it's better you pay for it and have everything free. Like whether it's no longer, you're no longer paying for it. You already have your layout saved out, right? It's already saved. So I hope everybody understood everything we said, because I just want to go on and show us the next thing. Then we are good to go. We know that everybody understood everything, and you guys can prepare for Monday and start taking trades. So if you've understood everything I've been saying from the start to finish, let me see you drop a yes if you understood. Chiamaka, your hands are raised up. Do you have a question? Yes, Mia, yes, they take out all the indicators after the free trial ends. So that's why I'm suggesting we just pay for it, so that it's not, we don't actually have issues with that, right? So everybody understands. So we all understand this part, I guess, right? Everybody understood this. So what we are doing is how to actually get what? Your, how to actually get your entries, right? Now, I don't know how many of you guys have heard about multi-time frame analysis, or using 2 time frames to confirm your entry. Deborah, yes, pay monthly instead of the free trial, but pay for the first month and don't pay again. Just save the layout after the first month. Do you get? Yeah, just pay for the first month. Don't allow it to deduct again, unless maybe you have other things you want to use it for. Maybe you're the type of person that loves to set alerts and all those things. Then yes, you can be paying for that monthly. Okay, so I think we're good to go. Please repeat how to save layout. Abigail, look at it over here at the top. Just once you've set everything, just come to the top and click here. Just click this, where you have this cloud symbol. Just click here. It's going to save everything for you, right? It's going to save it for you. So that's what you're doing. So that's everything you're doing. So guys, can we proceed? Can we move forward? I was asking us a question. I was actually asking us a question. So I need us to respond. How many of us have heard about multi-time frame analysis, right? Confirming your entries on maybe a smaller time frame. I know that when we are trading Forex, right? When we're trading Forex, you want to mark up your charts, or you want to analyze your charts. You start from what? Some people start from the monthly time frame. They go down to what? The daily time frame. They go back to 4 hours, 1 hour, and they finally get their entries on what? The 15 minutes, right? So for this strategy, what we're going to be doing is we are only going to consider 2 time frames, right? We're going to consider the 5 minutes time frame, and we're going to consider the 1 minute time frame, right? So have it written down, the 5 minute time frame and the 1 minute time frame. The 1 minute time frame, 5 minutes time frame is, okay, let me just have this 5 minutes time frame and 1 minute time frame. Now I'll show you guys how we're going to use this. So the 5 minutes is for what? The 5 minutes is to do what? Who knows? Is there anybody that knows what we're using the 5 minutes to do? Is there anybody that knows what we're using the 5 minutes to do? Guys, I need more answers. I need more answers. All right, so let me see who got this right. I'm seeing plenty of responses. All right, BVO, Victor says for markup. Our second Victor says for what did he say? To spot good setups. I think I like that. I like that answer. Spot good setups. Debbie says to take trades. Mia says take entry, for confirmation, to enter trade. For all right, so the people that says to spot good trades, right? Or says they actually said for confirmation. So you guys are correct, right? To spot good trades or for confirmation. You guys are actually very, very correct. Right, you guys are correct. So the 5-minute time frame is to get your setup. Right? 5 minutes time frame is to get your setup. Then 1 minute. We're using the 1 minute time frame to do what? To get entry. We're using the 5 minutes to what? To look for the setup, right? To look for a setup, and we're using the 1 minute to what? To get your entry. That's what we're doing. That's basically what we're doing, right? So 5 minutes time frame, we're looking for the setup, and what? There are 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get your setup, 1 minute to get your entry. So let me do something so we don't actually lose this info. Let me do this so we don't lose this info. Select all. Select all. So let me see if I can drop it in the chat. And, let me see if I'm able to drop it in the chat. Okay, I know what to do. All right, guys, just give me a minute. Let me try and send this out to. Let me try and send this out to the group. Guys, hope we're all following. Hope we're understanding. Like, once I show you guys the 1 minute time frame thing, we are done with the training. That's basically all you're doing, right? That's basically all you're doing. Precious, you say you don't understand. Please come again. So what's the thing? What's it that you don't understand? What don't you understand? Let me know. Specify so that I can actually help you. Come again about the time frame. All right, just give me a minute. Let me send this whole note out to the group. Let me send it out to the group, and so I know that we're good to go. We can proceed. All right, so guys, please give me a minute. Let me just drop it. All right. Okay, I think we're good. Sorry guys, I'm coming. I just want to make sure I paste it there on the group so that everybody can like start it and it's able to see. Just hold on. Wow, some people are already asking when I'm going to send out the video. The video is going to be out this night, right? The video will be out this night. So immediately we're done with it, the whole training, I'm going to send out the video like immediately ASAP. Okay, if it's taking time, right, to send out, what I'll do is that I won't delete this, right? I won't actually delete this. I think what I can do is I'll just hide the text. I'm just gonna hide the text so that it doesn't obstruct us. Then I'll send it out much later, right? So, like I said, we use the 5 minutes time frame to get our setup, right? The whole point system we are going through, right? Current system meter, we want to see it at resistance. We want to see it at where you want to see your DMI stochastic as a red. You want to also see what your stochastic at red, RSI at red. All these things we are doing is us being able to identify what our setup, right? This is just us identifying our perfect setup, right? So once we've been able to identify the setup, now we need an entry, right? We need a short entry. Now, what the 1 minute time frame is going to do for you is that it's just going to help you out identify the closest, or shall I say the fastest entry, the nearest entry you can take the trade, right? Let me see. Okay, so let me just do this real quick. Princess, you said how many minutes can we take the trades? HFX trades are always what? They're always 3 minutes now. Trades are always 3 minutes. The trades are always 3 minutes. So just make sure you take note of that. All right, so let me send it out. I think I've been able to do that. I've been able to do that. So I'm going to post it on the group like right now. Right. So post it on the group, then I send it out to everybody. Oops. All right. So guys, hope you've been able to get the whole blueprint to it. I've sent it out, so I don't think anybody should be having an issue. All right, so I've been able to send it out to every single person. So I think we're good to go. So like I said, 5 minutes time frame to spot out your trade idea. And the 1 minute is for what? The 1 minute is what gives us the entry, right? The 1 minute is what gives us the entry. So like this, we've been able to spot out that Okay, what currency is this? AUD USD, right? No problem. The market is closed, but I'm gonna like back test it. I'm gonna go back and show us like what would have happened in different scenarios if we had to take the trade, right? So I'm actually going to back test. I'm just going to show us. So let's go to the currency square meter, and I'll show you what to do, right? So now this is a currency square meter. So the currency we're looking at is what? It's AUD USD, right? We're looking at AUD USD. So what are we supposed to be doing on AUD USD? Are we supposed to be buying or selling? AUD USD, can anybody tell me? Are we buying or are we selling? Right, we're selling. Hope everybody agrees with us that we are supposed to be taking sales. Right, we're supposed to be taking sales. So what's the next thing we are supposed to do? Right, look at the info I sent out. Right, look at the info I sent out. Once we consider that we're supposed to be selling, right? Once we find out that we're supposed to be selling, what's the next thing we need? What's the next thing we need? Right? What's the next thing we need? Lovett is actually very, very fast. Guys, I need other responses as well. So Destiny says identify resistance. Chiamaka says sell at resistance. ID says resistance line. Who else agrees? Right? What's the next thing we're looking for? If we're looking for what? If we're looking for a sell, if we are supposed to be going for a sell, the next thing we are looking out for is what? We want to see price at a red line or at a resistance line, right? So now we've been able to identify price at a red line. That's two confirmations, right? So one thing I need you guys to know is that you need to get a minimum of 4, right? You need to get a minimum of 4 confirmations, right? Anything less than 4, you're not taking that trade, right? If it's not up to 4, cancel that trade, don't take it. Instead, patiently wait for everything to align. You're getting 4 points, you're getting 5 points. That's when you want to take this trade, right? So now we see that the market is at a resistance. That's our second confirmation, right? So that's 2 points for a sell, right? So what's the third? Can't get the bars red and blue for support. I don't understand what you're saying. Can't get the bars red and blue for support and resistance on my chart. Did you use Ivan Cabral? Ivan Cabral is automatically red and blue. Once you just search Ivan Cabral strategy, it's automatically red and blue, right? So what I think you should do is just watch the video again so you don't pull us back. Just take your time and watch the video. So we've been able to identify what? Resistance, the red line. So we have 2 confirmations, right? So if we come down to the DMI stochastic, right? If we come down to the DMI stochastic, what are we waiting for? This stochastic line has to be at the red. So looking at this, is 0.3 ready for, like, is it set up? The DMI stochastic, are we supposed to be taking a trade like right now? Is it ready? Right? We can all agree that this isn't set up, not yet, right? This isn't set up like the way we would want it to. So guess what? I want to actually wait again, right? So I'm going to wait to when I have my DMI stochastic at what? At that point, boom, right? So now what do we have? We allowed the market to play out for a while, and we were able to do what? We were able to see what? The market still at a resistance area. Now the DMI stochastic is what? Is at red. So now, is this trade ready? Do we have our 3 points confirmation? Do we actually have our 3 points confirmation? Do we actually have our 3 points confirmation? We do, right? We all agree we have it right now. So We have 3 points, but we want what? We want minimum of what? Of 4, right? So this is our third one. Then now the fourth one is what? The fourth one is what? Is the stochastic. Do we have the stochastic at the red as well? Look at it. Do we have the stochastic at red as well? Is the stochastic at the red? We have it at the red, Abby. Right, it's right there. Someone says the stochastic is not ready. How do you know it's not ready? The stochastic is at red, right? So why are you saying it's not ready? The stochastic is at red. Guys, forget about the crossing at first. Forget about the crossing. I'm going to tell you where you're going to need that crossing, right? I'll tell you when you need that crossing. Forget about the crossing for now. It's not yet time, right? It's not yet time. So the stochastic is at red, quite okay. Yes, blue has gone above the red. The red one too has slightly gone above the red. This. If we are arguing that, I'm going to zoom in. Look at the red. It went above what? This red line. So we agree that stochastic is at the red area, right? So that's what? That's actually what? That's actually 4 points, right? We have our fourth confirmation. Now, if I go down to what? If I go down to the RSI, if I go down to the RSI, do we have the RSI at red? Look at the RSI. Is the RSI at the red area? Yes or no? Do we have the RSI at the red area? Yes or no? Right? We have it. We actually have RSI at the red area. So what's the next thing I want to do? What is the next thing I want to do? Who can guess? Who can actually tell me what's the next thing I want to do? Since we've been able to spot out our setup, what is the next thing I want to do? You've been able to get your setup. So what's the next thing you want to do? Somebody say get an entry price. Somebody says take the trade. So everybody's saying go to the 1 minute time frame. Like 6 figures this year is done for you. Like you guys are so sharp. Like you don't take the trade. Go and look for your entry. Remember I said 5 minutes is to look for your setup. 1 minute is what? It's to get your entry, right? So since I've been able to identify this, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop down to what? 1 minute. I'm going to drop down to 1 minute. Now, on 1 minute, what am I doing? I'm looking for the exact thing again. I'm looking for the exact thing again to happen, right? Is it still at a resistance? Yes, it's there, right? It's actually there. It's actually at that resistance, right? Let me take out all these boxes. Let me take out all these boxes so that I just show you how I like to take my own trades, right? So now this is it. Okay, so this is it, right? It's currently at a resistance. We have what? We have the DMI stochastic. Once it crosses down and you have it as an S, right? We can still say, oh, we're still supposed to be looking for sales. It's still valid for a sell. But most times I like this to also come to where? To the red area, right? I also want you to come to the red area most times. Then this already crossed down, right? So we still have it coming back up. You can see that we have the blue above the red. So you can tell that this market is still going to try and buy on the 1 minute time frame. On the RSI side, the RSI is ready, right? So let me just play this market and let's see what really happened. Let's see what really happened. Let's see what really happened. What time is this? If this setup is not the one I want, I'll actually point out a good setup for you guys. think this is going to keep on coming down. But okay, this is what I always look for. Guys, look at this. This is what I always want to look for. I want to also look for what? I want to also look at this, right? While the 5 minutes time frame is like this, or was like this, right? I want to also make sure that the 1 minute time frame is doing exactly the same thing, right? I want to also make sure that the 1 minute time frame is doing the same thing. There's a resistance area here. So if I actually draw a line and extend that resistance area, right? If I extend this resistance area by using my horizontal line, you're going to see that 372 was my entry for a sell, right? 372 is my entry for a sell. And now we have what? We have the DMI on the 1 minute time frame at the red. We have what? We have the stochastic at the red, right? For 1 minute time frame, we also have the RSI at the red. So now all I'm waiting for is what? I'm waiting for the stochastic to give me a signal. I'm waiting for the red line of the stochastic to do it, to cross down the blue. So immediately I'm able to see that cross, and I'm able to see what? An S. Since we're selling, I'm able to see an S for what? For a sell signal on the DMI stochastic. The RSI is already crossing down. That's a signal for sell. Now the stochastic, I want a red. I actually want the red to cross down the blue. I'm going to actually replay it again. So just watch out. Let's look at this. So I'm just going to show you when I would have taken my entry. Boom. Look at this. Look at the stochastic on the 1 minute. Are you seeing it's about to cross? Right? Are you seeing it's about to cross? Just look at this. Are you seeing this? So once it crosses, once this crosses, this is mostly what I see as what? As a sell signal. If I see my S, if I see this red crossing what? Over the blue. Right here is, sorry, let me just draw a vertical line so that we can actually take that as our entry, right? Right here is where I want to sell. So let's see how this trade performed. Let's see what this trade did. Boom, look at this. Look at this, right? So 3 minutes, right? If you entered on this candle, 1, 2, and 3, you'd have cleared this trade. Right? 1, 2, and 3, you'd have cleared this trade. Is it possible that the stochastic stance can still go down without crossing? It's not possible. If a stochastic is coming down, look at it. On its way down, it's surely going to cross. On its way down, it's crossing here. But what you're waiting for is that, is it coming to this overbought area? That's what you're looking out for. Is it coming to the overbought area? Right? So you entered on this candle, right? You entered on this candle, or you entered in any of these candles as far as you knew that this was another resistance point, right? If you still wanted to get what? A perfect entry, you would have waited for what? The stochastic cross, and what? Once you just got this S as a sell signal, right? You'd have taken it for a sell. If I go back to the 5 minutes time frame and replayed what happened, look at, if I said we would have taken this trade from here, the same thing. So you can actually take this on your 5 minutes time frame, right? Depending on what you guys want. But I just prefer taking my trades using the 1 minute time frame instead. So if we're going to replay the 5 minutes, right? If I'm going to replay 5 minutes, this is what happened. If I'm going to replay the 5 minutes, this is what happened, right? So I'm going to play it now, and you'd have seen what would have happened if you actually took the trade, right? So DMI stochastic, we're waiting for it to get to the red. It finally got there. Stochastic is at the red. It crosses, right? It just crossed. Look at this. I'm going to put it here, right? So look at this. At this candle, if I click this, if I actually click this, you're going to see this. Look at, you see on the 5 minutes, it actually did what? It actually did a cross. We got an S, right? We would have still taken this trade at this resistance. We have taken the trade at resistance. And you see how the market came back, retested this entry and what? Shot all the way down. Right? The market shot all the way down. So this is just one example for a sell, right? So this is one example for a sell. So let's actually look at an example for buy, right? Let's look at an example for buy. So what can we actually buy here, right? Is there anything we can buy here? I don't think. Everything is selling. Everything is selling. If I actually show you guys the trades I took on Friday, right, before the market closed, everything I was doing was what? I was selling, right? So we actually have USD card for buy. So let's look at USD card. Let's see if you can spot out a buy example on USD card, right? A buy example on USD card. So we've been able to spot out the currency strength meter telling us to what? To buy, right? Currency strength meter, USD is stronger than what? Than CAD. So the next thing we are looking for is what? Price should be at what? At a support. Price should actually be at a support. So let's try and go back a bit. Let's assume this is the setup, right? So you see that price is around the support. This is the support line, right? This is where the market is. This is a current candle. So what we're doing is we have our second confirmation. We have our 2 points, right? Market is at a support. We come over to the DMI. Guess what? The DMI is also at the blue area. So that's third confirmation, right? The only thing that is not yet set is the stochastic because RSI is already at the blue. RSI is ready, right? If you're looking at 5 minutes time frame, RSI is ready. So let's allow the market to like play out. Let's see what happens, right? Let's see what the next candle is going to do. Okay, right? So you see that sell brought the stochastic, it actually brought the stochastic way below the blue line. Let me rewind, let's play again, right? Let me take it again. So this is it. Watch the stochastic. We want to see it at the blue area, right? We want to see it at the blue area. Boom. Look at it. It came to this blue area. So on the entry for a buy, what you're looking for is what? You're looking for the cross. Look at, you're looking for the cross. Once the blue crosses up the red, that's a buy signal, right? You also have what? Look at the DMI. It has given us this B, right? Set for a buy. Look at the RSI. RSI is crossing up the blue. So if I wanted to be sure that this area was good for an entry, I would have done what? I'll go to my 1 minute time frame, right? My 1 minute time frame. This is what I can actually do, right? I can also come here and try and see if the market is going to pull back to this support, right? I can come here to this area and just like wait for everything to align for a buy. But it depends on how you want to take it, right? It's crossed down for a sell. This is still hanging around here, right? This is still hanging around there. So can we be able to get it to come to what? The buys. Can we get the market to come all the way to this buy area? Let me see. I think this one left us already, right? This one left us already. So I think the best spot would have been somewhere around here. Somewhere around this candle. Oh, he actually came back. He actually came back, but I think this is where the market was closing. So I don't think we would have done anything around here. Right? I don't think we would have done anything around here. Let me actually see what the stochastic does. Yeah, okay. So I don't think I would have done anything around there. So the best area I would have taken for a buy would have been around this place, right? Somewhere here, right? When the market was around the support and the DMI was around this area, stochastic was around this area, when it crossed up and RSI. So on this candle would have been my entry on the 1 minute time frame. This would have been my entry for the buy on the 1 minute time frame, right? So 3 candles, 1, 2, 3. You'd have actually cleared that trade. But if you're looking at it on the 5 minutes, right? If you're looking at it on the 5 minutes, this is what you're going to see, right? We entered on this candle, but it wasn't ready, right? This market didn't actually come back to what? It didn't come back to a support area until this particular candle. And as at this point, right, the stochastic was already all the way up, right? DMI stoch was already at the top, right? RSI was away from this blue area. So this is why I always want to use what? I always want to go back to using what? I always want to go back to using the 1 minute time frame, right? So I just use the 1 minute time frame, compare it to the 5 minutes time frame. Once I'm able to see a nice area on the 1 minute time frame, something like this area, right? It's close to a support area, right? We see the DMI below this blue line. We see the stochastic at where the oversold area. RSI is here. All I'm waiting for is what? The cross on this stochastic. I'm waiting to have what? A B signal here. Once I just get this, I'm taking my trade for what? 3 minutes with my full chest. 3 minutes, I'm entering that trade, right? So if I was to roll over the trade, all I'm doing is what? Maximum 2 rollovers, right? If I roll over twice and I don't clear the trade, guess what? I leave that trade set up and I look for something else, right? So Euro JPY, right? Euro JPY for itself. Let's go to Euro JPY for itself. Let's actually look at this one. Wow, this one would have been a good setup, but the market closed. This would have been a good setup, but the market closed, right? GMI stochastic is already at the top here. It just crossed on the 5 minutes. We have the RSI at the red. So there's also what? There's also a resistance. We saw that the market came up to we had the market come up to what? To the resistance area, right? So this is the kind of setup I'm looking for, right? This is the kind of setup I'm looking for. So if I wanted to take this trade my way, I would have done what? I would actually come up where? To the 1 minute time frame. Are you seeing that the market already left us? Right? Are you seeing the market already left us? Right? This candle right here should have been my entry. Right? This candle right here should have been my entry. Right? So this particular candle should have been my entry. Why? Right? I got the S signal and I got what? I got the stochastic to cross. Right? I got it to cross. So once the stochastic crossed, I would have entered what? A sell for what? 3 minutes. Right? So on this candle, 3 minutes, this market is coming down. Right? So that's basically how I've been taking my trades. Like since Thursday, I've been trying this out and it has been working, right? I was able to take 28 trades. I was able to clear about 24 and I just lost about 4, right? I just lost about 4. And I can tell you that those 4 trades I took, it was just like, I was just pumped up. I was so excited the way it's been working and I was just like, okay, let me just take it anyhow. But trust me, you need to always wait for your entry. You need to always wait for all your confirmations to line up, right? You just don't want to be taking the trades anyhow. This thing is working. I've tried it out. It's actually working. So what is left is just for you to do it, to practice this. When the market opens on Monday, try as much as possible to practice this. So another thing I want to show you guys, you can actually try it out. Once you've upgraded your trading view, you can actually have the two charts on one screen, right? So you can see this is actually the 5 minutes time frame. So I can also have the 1 minute time frame on the same screen, right? So at the top of your screen, trading view, you actually have this button, select layout, right? You have this, it says select layout. So I'm just going to click on this. Then where it says 2, you can see that we have a split screen diagram here. So if I click on this split screen diagram, I'm able to have what? I'm able to have it also on this other part of my screen, right? I'm able to have it here on this part of my screen. So all I'm supposed to do is what? I just click on my Euro JPY, right? And you see that we have the same thing. You see that we actually have the same thing. So this first part is your 5 minutes time frame. This is what? Your 1 minute time frame. So all I can be doing is what? I'm just waiting for everything to align, right? I'm looking at both screens, right? I'm actually looking at both screens. Looking at both. All right, so I'm looking at both screens. This is what I'm just looking for, right? So if I'm looking at the 5 minutes time frame, everything is setting up, right? This is right here for a sell, right? TMI stochastic is there at the red area. I'm looking at what? I'm looking at stochastic at the red area as well, right? I'm looking at what? I can see my RSI where my RSI is over here at this red area. What does that tell me? Good setup has been identified, right? So what I'm doing is what? I am just looking over to the 1 minute time frame. I'm also waiting for what? DMI stochastic to be around the red area. And I am expecting what? My stochastic on the 1 minute time frame to do this. I'm entering what? On this cross on the 1 minute time frame. Once I see my S on the 1 minute time frame and I see this cross, I'm entering on that candle for 3 minutes. I am taking that trade for straight 3 minutes. That's how you just get those sniper entries and you're able to have more profitable wins, right? So that's how I've been taking my trades for the past, how many days? Thursday, Fridays, right? So now, what even makes it like more amazing, or should I say almost 95% accurate, right, is that once you have hourglass, right, if you check on hourglass, assuming the market was open, right, and you see what, you're able to see this on hourglass. Once you're able to see this on hourglass, something like this, if you actually see this on hourglass and you have what, a score of, you're seeing this as well on hourglass, put score. Once you have something like this, once you have something like this on hourglass, if you're combining both of them, you check your hourglass, you're having a score of what? Put about 4. If you have 4 points on hourglass, trust me, bro, sis, sell that market for 3 minutes, right? Highest rollover you can do is 2 times. And if you clear it, you clear it. But if you don't clear it, guess what? Look for another setup, right? So one thing you need to make sure you're doing is what? Proper risk management. You're still practicing proper risk management. Not because I told you the win rate is high, you're going to go and over leverage. You have a $200 account. Oh, this thing is working very well. Let me enter with what? $50. Don't do that. Just stick to your compounding plan. Do what you're supposed to be doing, right? Stick to your compounding plan. Do what you're supposed to be doing. Now, guys, another thing you need to do is, if you don't have a trading plan, you need to start drawing out your trading plan. Right? You need to start drawing out your trading plan. Right? This market is in an uptrend. In an uptrend, what am I supposed to be doing? I'm looking for a buy. Right? Now, in an uptrend, since I'm buying, what is my currency strength meter supposed to be looking like? the first currency is supposed to be stronger than the second currency. That's another point in my trading plan, right? So once I have a plan like that, on no account should I be selling when the market has that kind of condition. Guess what? If I'm selling when the market is in an uptrend, selling when the currency strength meter is telling me to buy, once I lose money, whose fault is it? It's my fault. I can't blame the market, or I can't blame the academy. I can't say, oh, this IM Academy is not working for me. Oh, trading is not working for me. I'm giving it a break. Whose fault was it? It's your fault. So you need to understand that you need to plan how you take trades. You need to plan your trades, and what? When it's time to trade, you need to trade your plan. Don't go out of your plan. So this is what I want to advise every single one of you today on this call. There are about 38 of you on the call, right? So have a trading plan. If the currency strength meter says I should buy, quite all right. Everything I should be looking for is what? Buys, right? If the currency strength meter says I should buy, I should be counting what? Blues, right? The market should be at blue support. The DMI stochastic should be at what? Blue. RSI should be at blue. Stochastic should be at blue. If I don't see them at blue, guess what? I am not taking the trade. That is how you're able to discipline yourself. You don't see yourself taking any kind of trades. You're not going to be rushing into the market because you just want to trade, right? So learn how to be disciplined. Learn how to wait patiently for that setup. Learn how to wait patiently for that entry. Don't rush. The market is not running, right? The market is not running away. So I hope everybody has been able to, was able to get value, was able to understand everything I was talking about, right? So let me just check the chat if there's anybody that had a question. Precious. So when we're taking the trade, how many minutes are we taking it? We're taking it for 3 minutes, fixed time on, right? I take it for 3 minutes, fixed time on. So is there any other question? Is there any other question? Does any other person have a question to ask? If there's no question, I'm going to stop recording now. So let me just stop recording.